Canada is grabbing global headlines in a way that few expected. Prime Minister Mark Carney is taking a firm stand against mounting pressure from the United States. The relationship between Canada and its southern neighbor has reached a critical turning point. Trade negotiations for the renewal of the CUSMA agreement are approaching fast. The United States is pushing hard for major concessions before any formal talks begin. Prime Minister Carney has responded with clear and confident language. He has stated repeatedly that Canada will not pay any entry fee to sit at the negotiating table. Canada refuses to simply take notes from American demands. Tariffs on Canadian steel continue to create serious friction. Tariffs on aluminum add even more tension to the situation. Lumber exports face heavy restrictions that hurt Canadian industries. These disputes threaten the foundation of one of the largest trading relationships in the world. The CUSMA Pact has delivered tariff-free access for 85% of goods, yet that stability now hangs in the balance. Prime Minister Carney is actively working to diversify Canada's trade partners. He aims to reduce dangerous over-dependence on the United States market. This strategic shift could reshape North American economics for decades ahead. Observers around the globe are watching these developments closely. Many wonder if Canada will strengthen ties with Europe and Asia. Others ask whether closer cooperation with China might become a realistic option. The stakes are incredibly high for both countries and for global supply chains. In a bold move announced today, Prime Minister Carney unveiled new measures to accelerate home building. The government is fast-tracking 8 major housing projects in Ottawa. These developments will use Canadian materials and Canadian labor wherever possible. This initiative forms part of a larger plan to solve the ongoing housing shortage. Affordable homes have become a top national priority under the current administration. Canada has struggled with rising home prices for several years. Young families find it harder than ever to enter the property market. Prime Minister Carney brings deep economic expertise to this challenge. His background as a former central banker gives him unique insight into financial markets. He understands how housing shortages affect overall economic growth. The new Build Canada Homes Agency is already delivering results. It partners with provinces and private developers to speed up construction. Experts predict these steps could add hundreds of thousands of new units in coming years. This progress offers valuable lessons for other nations facing similar crises. International audiences should pay attention because housing shortages are a global problem. Meanwhile, events in the Middle East are creating direct pain for Canadian travelers. The crisis in the Strait of Hormuz has disrupted global oil supplies. Jet fuel prices have more than doubled in recent weeks. Major Canadian airlines are forced to cancel flights and adjust schedules. Air Transat has reduced operations on several international routes. Air Canada has suspended multiple domestic and cross-border services. WestJet is consolidating flights to manage rising costs. Passengers face higher ticket prices and additional baggage fees. Your next vacation to Europe might cost significantly more than planned. Trips to Asia could see similar increases due to fuel shortages. This situation demonstrates how distant conflicts ripple across the world economy. Canadian families planning summer travel should prepare for changes. Business travelers will also feel the impact on corporate budgets. The aviation industry warns that recovery could take several months. Even if the strait reopens, full supply chains will need time to normalize. Prime Minister Carney has formed a new advisory committee on Canada-United States economic relations. This high-level group includes business leaders, labor representatives, and politicians from across parties. The committee will prepare Canada for the upcoming CUSMA review deadline. Negotiations are expected to intensify in the coming months. Canada wants to protect existing benefits while addressing American concerns. At the same time, Canada insists on mutual respect in the process. The United States cannot simply dictate the terms of any new agreement. This firm position has earned praise from many Canadian observers. Former political figures note that Carney has reset the tone of bilateral relations. His approach combines strength with deep understanding of international finance. Investors worldwide are monitoring how these talks will affect markets. Higher energy costs could push inflation in multiple countries. Disrupted trade might slow supply chains for automobiles and consumer products. Canada exports vast amounts of energy resources to the United States. Any major changes could influence global oil prices and electricity costs. let us examine the broader historical context of this relationship. Canada and the United States have enjoyed close economic ties for generations. The original NAFTA agreement transformed cross-border commerce. Its successor, CUSMA, aimed to modernize those rules for the digital age. Yet, recent years have introduced new challenges and uncertainties. Global events, including pandemics and geopolitical tensions, have tested the partnership. Prime Minister Carney recognizes that old assumptions no longer hold. He has described over-reliance on one market as a strategic weakness that must be corrected. Diversification does not mean abandoning a valuable neighbor. Instead, it means building resilience for future shocks. Canada possesses abundant natural resources and skilled workforce. It also maintains strong democratic institutions that attract investment. The first ever Canada Investment Summit announced recently aims to highlight these advantages. Foreign capital could flow into clean energy, technology, and infrastructure projects. Housing efforts extend far beyond Ottawa. Similar initiatives are underway in other provinces. Ontario has seen new partnerships to eliminate certain taxes on affordable homes. British Columbia and Alberta are exploring faster permitting processes. Indigenous communities are partnering on supportive housing projects. These inclusive approaches address multiple social challenges at once. Homelessness remains a visible issue in many Canadian cities. Transitional housing programs receive dedicated funding. The goal is to create mixed-income developments that foster strong communities. Success here could inspire urban planning strategies in other nations. International viewers often admire Canada's quality of life. Yet, they should also understand the pressures that leaders like Carney face. The jet fuel crisis adds another layer of complexity. Global aviation is under unprecedented strain. European carriers are canceling thousands of short-haul flights. Asian routes face delays due to rerouting around affected areas. Canadian exporters of agricultural products worry about shipping costs. Fertilizer prices have also risen because of the same supply disruptions. Farmers in the prairies feel the indirect effects daily. This interconnected world means no country is truly isolated. Prime Minister Carney has emphasized the need for energy security. Canada produces significant oil and can play a stabilizing role. Increased domestic production might help offset global shortages. Environmental considerations remain important in these discussions. The government balances economic needs with climate commitments. What comes next in these unfolding stories? Trade talks will likely dominate headlines through the summer. Housing announcements will continue as projects break ground. Travelers should monitor airline updates closely. Analysts predict that successful negotiations could restore confidence. Failure to reach agreement might accelerate diversification efforts. Either path carries significant implications for jobs and growth. Global investors should consider Canada's strategic position. Its economy combines resource strength with technological innovation. Prime Minister Carney's leadership brings credibility to these efforts. His experience at the Bank of England and Bank of Canada equips him well. He understands both macroeconomic forces and practical business realities. Canada continues to demonstrate resilience amid uncertainty. Its people value strong institutions and open dialogue. The coming months will test that resolve in important ways. International audiences benefit from following these developments. They reveal larger patterns in global trade and geopolitics. Energy security, housing affordability, and diplomatic balance matter everywhere. Thank you for joining this in-depth analysis of Canadian affairs. These events carry lessons that extend far beyond national borders. Stay informed because the decisions made today will shape tomorrow. Make sure to like this video if you found the information valuable. Subscribe to the channel for more detailed breakdowns of world events. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Which aspect of the Canada story interests you most right now? Do you expect trade tensions to ease or intensify? We will return soon with fresh updates and deeper insights. Until then, keep watching and stay engaged with global affairs. This comprehensive overview covers the key pressures facing Canada today. From trade battles to domestic building projects and international ripple effects, the picture is complex. Prime Minister Mark Carney stands at the center of these challenges. His decisions will influence not only Canadians but people around the planet. The world watches as Canada navigates this pivotal moment in its history. Economic independence and strategic partnerships define the path forward. Viewers who follow these stories gain better understanding of interconnected global systems. Every development adds another piece to the larger puzzle. We appreciate your time and attention to this full report.